you know, you were with a man. And I said, what? Huh? And she said, Tasha, you're working way too hard. Go and relax, have a good time. You know, have a drink and have a good time. And it was this great, like, clarity for me into the role, into who this person was. So whenever I could find a moment, there weren't a lot of them, but when there were, you know, this was key.
Absolutely.
Just played horny. That was
Exactly. She really wanted to, you know, have fun and have sex a lot, and you know, whenever that could happen, I guess. I mean, that's how I played it. You guys got that, right?
that matches up to a lot of fan fiction I wrote. So.
Oh, that's awesome. Make sure you pick up those fan fictions so you can kind of revisit.
It's on the internet.
Michael, your character went through some similar transitions, not on the more of the sexual nature, but you did need to get your aggressiveness in check. Anything you can share with us on that?
The aggressiveness in check thing was just kind of you know, it was talking to Gene about, you know, his aggression and all that type of stuff and what the Klingons were going to do. All that was very interesting. But the turning point, I thought, was it is my favorite episode, which Jonathan directed, The Drumhead, which was had more to do with Gene Simmons and Patrick and being, you know, and all that type of stuff. But at the end is one of my favorite endings, where Worf goes to Patrick. You know, he's coming in there to tell him something about how basically this whole episode is ended. It's over. You know, and Patrick just says, you know, hey, you know, we have to watch out for these villains. You know, and Worf is struggling with the idea that, hey, man, you know, Gene Simmons, you know, I helped her and all that, and it was I think that was a turning point with his career, or his thing, where he just, you know, he was basically thinking one way and always thought that he was right about everything, and come to find out he was, you know, dead wrong about a lot of stuff. And that was a real turning point. The way I loved it, because it was a great scene, ended beautifully, but I also liked the way the character was going in that direction. And I loved playing that, so that was a turning point. It was a fabulous, you know.
Did y'all notice Worf was an orphan? He had more relatives than the rest of us put together.
Look at her face.
I mean, I turn around and I have a son, you know.
Aunts, uncles.
Uncles, stepbrother.
Step-parents.
Brothers I didn't know I had, you know. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was crazy.
Just had a crazy mother.
John Delancey, in character with keeping with the question that was asked, your character from Encounter to Farpoint all the way through the seasons, even to the next couple of series, what have you seen in terms of a change from first episode to last appearance of Q?
How many episodes did he appear in?
I think that Encounter at Farpoint to my situation is different than these guys, and theirs is an enviable one. I'm brought in as a one-shot, and at the end of when I do an episode, or when I did an episode, that was the end. So there was no sense of maturation and allowing something to sort of take place that I could take and move into the next episode, because there really wasn't going to be another episode. And it certainly, if there were going to be one, it wasn't going to be until a year later. So each one of these things sort of has like a single target in my head. However, the last All Good Things, I thought, for the character of Q was perhaps the best. There were only about 4 or 5 scenes, maybe 6 scenes, but each one of them had seemingly a facet that could get burnished, you know, polished up again. And then 1 or 2 extra ones, especially at the end, the last thing where I say to Patrick, where I could actually say, you know, I'm with you. And that was perhaps the arc that I had.
Very good. I enjoyed it. Right now, if anybody wants to ask any questions, they're way in the back of the room. Do me a favor and come over here on the side, make a line here. Do me a favor, go on the other side, make a line there. In the meantime, let's take someone real close. Anyone real close? Sir, go ahead.
This is for Denise specifically,
Watch out.
concerning
Somebody's coming.
when you had to come back to the show on yesterday's Enterprise.